Hello, in this video we are going to see the query builder automation script. Query builder is automation script which will be used in generating the SQL scripts for in statements and like statements. So let's go and see the example how it works and what are its benefits. I'll directly go to the w3schools.com where we have a default table created called customers. So we have this customers table, and when we run this SQL, we have 91 records. So this customers table has total 91 records. So sometimes we don't want all the records. We have a list of values which we want to see. So, for example, in this 91 records, we have customer ID, customer name, contact name, address, city, postal code, and so on. So, but I don't want to have all these customers displayed. I want so this is the 20 list of customers details I want to see. So if I do it manually without using any script, so the real challenge is you need to use an in statement initially. So we type where and customer name, and then use in and opening and closing brackets, and you type all the values. I just copy it from there. And the real tedious task that happens is you need to add single quotes just before and after each value. So it takes considerable amount of time. So for five values, it took me like 30 seconds. So if I go for 10 values, so roughly it takes 1 minute for uh, the copying the data from Excel and formatting, uh, doing all the single quotes and adding commas. So that takes a considerable amount of time. And when you run SQL, so you'll get these 10 values data. So the real challenge is to add the single quotes and the commas for each of the value. So here we have only 10 values, so we can do it. But in case if you have thousands of values present, and you don't want to see all the records using the star, but you have a certain amount of values which are like in thousands. So for them you need to add these codes. So in that case we have query builder is going to help a lot. So quickly we'll go into the query builder automation script. So this is the same file, like whatever the values that I have in the Excel sheet, I just copy it in the query builder input file, which is this file. So run the script query builder in statement, and it will generate all the values with single quotes added in at the beginning and at the end with a comma, and also the opening and closing brackets. Just copy this and go to SQL. So remove everything. Go to the SQL, just copy and paste and run. You'll get all the data in no time. So initially manually we just ran with 10 records. Now we ran all the 20 records data, and we got in seconds we got all the data of customers for 20 different values. So this is how the query builder will generate the query for in statement. So sometimes what happens is there are moments where you don't have the complete string, you have only the partial string like this. So these are some of the names which are actually partially typed here. These are all the customer names from the customers table, but they are not the complete names. We just have the partial values. So in this case, we need to use the like statement. So the challenge using like statement is you need to go to the, so for example here you need to go and select start from customers where customer name. So I'm showing how it will be done manually, and then we'll show or it will done automatically. So now I'm doing manually, so I need to type customer name like this string, or again I need to copy paste customer name like, I keep on going. So we have this list, so or this value. So I need to keep on doing this. So here's my or. So let's type for the last value. One more. These are all partial names of the customers. So we have three customers. So it took considerable amount of time, like uh, maybe 1 minute, I guess, to just type three names. So the same thing if we do the query builder like automation script. So we have all the partial names typed here, and just run this query builder like. So I have all the default five, the top five are the most used columns that I use in my project. So I just hard coded them. So if I don't have these five keys and have some other key, I will just say custom ID. So for custom ID we have entry 6. So then it will ask the enter the column name. The column name is customer name. Done it, and it will immediately um, create a script for all the partial strings. Let's take this and copy and paste, run. For all, you have so much of data, you can search within seconds using this like statement. So this is how we are going to save a lot of time building the SQL statements for in and like statements. So I just shown the examples with, for in statement I shown with 20 records, and for like statements with 10 records. But in real time projects we have so many values, like thousands of values which we want to see. So we can do in some ways, like generally the ETL testers will go and copy the values in Excel sheet and then put a single quotes before and after, like this, and then they keep formatting their data, which is also a way, but it takes time. Again, it takes time when we are running critical modes. uh, it takes considerable amount of time. So to avoid all these situations, we have this query builder in and like statements which will uh, run accurately and which will save a lot of time. Thank you for listening.